A federal judge said he intends to issue a new block on President Trump's effort to freeze an enormous swath of federal spending. Why? Well, basically, U.S. District Judge John McConnell said the White House is now sending out conflicting signals. Joining me on the morning show, Miriam Becker-Cohen, Senior Appellate Counsel at the Constitutional Accountability Center. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Miriam, more Trump chaos here. It all begs the question, is this an affront to the constitutional power of Congress and a direct challenge to a 50-year-old federal law meant to ensure congressionally authorized funds to go out the door? And is the president literally subverting the constitutional role of Congress?
In short, yes. This is, prior to this week, probably a lot of Americans had not heard of the Impoundment Control Act, a law enacted in 1974 to limit the ways in which a president can defer or rescind allocated funds for that Congress has set aside. But every American learns in their, fifth grade civics class that Congress holds the power of the purse, and money that's been appropriated by Congress, the president does not have the discretion to rescind or pause, as this memo purported to do. And so this is just a blatant violation of foundational constitutional principles about the separation of powers between Congress and the executive branch.
Jed Sugarman, who's a presidential historian from Boston University, said that Trump and others think they have a mandate to be bulls in the China shop. Do you believe he has a flagrant disregard as to what the Roberts Court's going to do?
I think the sheer breadth of the memo answers that question, yes, for you. It seems the administration is employing a act now, think later approach, which the rescission of the memo makes pretty clear. So I think the disregard is clear and the lawlessness.
This isn't the only case where President Trump is pushing legal boundaries or blown through them completely. You've got the issue of birthright citizenship, the firing of the inspector generals, the TikTok situation. It's almost like he's creating the go ahead and try and stop me presidency. Do you believe Donald Trump wants the fight?
I think he does. I think it's part of his strategy that he's all of these things together sort of flood the zone with so much unconstitutional action and lawlessness that it makes it difficult for those opposing this lawless action to present a unified front. So I think that this extreme, overwhelming amount of lawless action is all part and parcel of his strategy.
Going back to fifth grade civics, what we learned in college in poli-sci. Presidency is supposed to be limited by the law and by the Constitution. Is there this worry that Mr. Trump sees things quite differently?
There is. I mean, as I said before, these are not sort of obscure issues of law or parts of the Constitution that you don't learn about. These are avowed efforts to rewrite the Constitution to serve his policy interests. So I think this should be very concerning for all Americans that we have a president right now who is not willing to abide by the document that he took an oath to uphold.
So let's get to a fundamental question. There are those who say it is time for the Supreme Court to flex its muscle and remind the president who really calls the shots on matters of legal disputes. I know the conservative majority is aligned with the president on a lot of issues. Will the court be ready and eager to assert that it is the ultimate arbiter of the Constitution, using this issue to prove that?
I think whether they're ready and eager, it's their constitutional duty to do so. And Trump has not made it exactly difficult. The justices, even those who he appointed and the more conservative justices, don't have to go out on a limb to slap back at these just flagrant violations of the Constitution. So I think there's the legitimacy of the court as an institution is at stake here as well. So it's very important. And I think if they uphold their oath to the Constitution, even the conservative justices who might vote in his favor on other things should very clearly see where the law leads here.
Miriam Becker-Cohen, thank you for your time.